Welcome to the Hardcore Closer Podcast. I'm Ryan Stewman, founder of HardcoreCloser.com, and this podcast is all about helping you, the salesperson, close more sales. And look, whether you're selling cars, homes, financial services, consulting, whatever it is that you sell, this podcast is dedicated to help you generate higher quality leads, increase your closing ratios, and show you how to charge premium fees for the items you sell so you can get paid what you're worth. What's up, Closing Nation? Fucking savages. It's episode 101 in this bitch, and we're in the triple digits now. We just coasting on down the road, ladies and gentlemen. I am glad that you're here. You don't know this, but we never do takes. Like, we do one take. I'm one take motherfucker. That's me. Like, one take, shit's done. If it's terrible, fuck it. We're still doing it one take. But we are on take 3 of this one because Low Energy Robert and myself can't seem to get our shit together. But mostly Low Energy Robert, it's his fault. But you only know this as the first take, so just like forget all that stuff that I just shared with you. And if you're a first timer, be sure to check out previous episodes. There's apparently 100 more episodes at this point. So make sure if you haven't listened to them all, why not, right? Some people spend their lives trying to collect all of the Pokemon. Maybe you can just spend your time listening to all of the THC podcast. We won't judge. We'll encourage it. But listen, there's one thing that I have to ask you, especially if this is your second or third, fourth, fifth, 100th time showing up here, is to leave a review. You don't understand. I'm up against some really tremendous talent. I have a really big goal. My goal is to help 300 million people. Last year, we helped 15 million. That's kind of cool. And to me, that's like a big number, but it's nowhere near it's not even 10% of my goal. And there's some really big players in the podcast niche that I'm in. There's Ty Lopez. That guy has 2 of the top 10 podcasts on iTunes. You got guys like Cardone and Gary Vee and Andy Frisella. And I mean, like major players out there that I'm competing for likes and views and stuff against, right? And so one of the ways that gives me a competitive edge with these badass motherfuckers being, out there against me, and not necessarily against me, but I mean, we're all jockeying for fucking places on the chart, right? And they have excellent shows, and most of them are better looking than I am, and have a better voice, right? So I'm up against some real fucking borders, y'all, like the fucking wall on Mexico and shit. You know what I'm saying? I need your help. I need you to go over to iTunes and leave me a review. If not, I will be crushed by Ty Lopez and Andy Frisella. And some of you are probably going, good, I listen to this so I can listen to your content for free, Stewman, because I think you're brilliant, but I fucking want to see you be crushed, right? I get it. We got haters. We all need. We call the haters Hillarys, right? We all got some Hillarys in our life that, they won't go away. And so listen, all jokes aside, leaving a review helps the show out a ton. I am jockeying for eyeballs and eardrums in a very, very, very competitive marketplace. And I listen to a lot of my competitors' podcasts, and probably you do as well. And all I'm asking is for one little review. You write a review that is basically a sales pitch for your business, and I'll read that shit online. Phone number, website, everything. I'm not weird like that. Dude, I want salespeople to win. Here's an example. It says, the very best, 5 stars. And it says, by the King of Gimmicks. Now, that's a fucking handle name right there. He says, my name is Charles Hartman, and I recently discovered your podcast, and I want to thank you for the inspiration. Myself, I am a former ex-felon, and I have not been in trouble since 2010. And I started my own business in 2013, an entertainment company. You can follow me on Facebook at Charlie Armstrong Hartman and Instagram at King of Gimmicks. Thank you again for all your hard work. Charlie, Charlie, whatever. I appreciate that. And I appreciate you being honest, with the world about your felony and creating a business and everything else. And I'm going to say some shit that I didn't plan on saying for this, but I'm just going to. I got into this business, right, this coaching business to help people like you, Charles, to help people that didn't have a choice but to start their own business, to help people that society shit on in one form or another. And it's not always easy, man. It's like being a preacher in the hood. You're down there and you're trying to save souls. And you try to help the neighborhood out. But man, the neighborhood's full of crackheads, and crackheads do crackhead shit. And our world can be like that too. We have guys like you that start your own business And, I'm preaching to you, but I'm also preaching to guys that are just getting out. And I'm also preaching to guys that can't get it together. And I'm also preaching with guys that have greed and money addictions and drug addictions and sex problems and all the things that exist that come along with it. And I'm just like a preacher in the hood. I'm totally dedicated to churching the unchurched. But man, it's difficult some days, man, because we felons can do some really mean shit to people and not give two fucks about it. If you, Charlie, I don't know if you did time or not, but I did. There's some really mean people in there for no reason. Pat and I were talking the other day, and he said when he first got into prison, he said one of the guys told him, he said, I'm not really one for fighting, but in here fighting solves problems. And, when you live that kind of a life, we had to do something outside of the box in order to be a felon in the first place. When you live that kind of life and shit doesn't go your way, sometimes it bleeds over. I've had plenty of clients that, they paid me for business help, but really what they needed was personal help. And when I gave them some personal advice, they didn't like it and they got mad at me. Some of them hate me because of it. So it's just like having a church in the hood that always gets robbed and crackheads always doing crackhead shit. One minute they're at Sunday at church, the next minute they're stealing the paintings off the wall of the church at midnight, trying to sell it to get another fix. But I appreciate people like you that have started your own business, that acknowledge your shortcomings in the past, and that have pushed forward for that. You, my friend, are the real people I'm doing this for. And I'm not trying to abandon people that aren't felons or whatever. And listen, some of you are fucking felons. You just didn't get caught. Matter of fact, I'd venture most of you are felons. You just didn't get caught. Most people that listen to this shit, most people don't even realize it, but most of us are fucking running into one cop at the wrong time away from a felony anyway. And so I just want to say to those of you that have come through some shit, I really respect that. And it always warms my heart, right? Like the Grinch's heart grew 3 times in size that day. It warms my heart when you savage motherfuckers hit me up on here. So I appreciate that. All right. So enough emotional bullshit. Let's talk about some sales, right? Listen, if you have not got your hands on Funnel Closer yet, you are missing out. We have dozens of people who are making $20,000 or more in this program. Now, when I say $20,000 or more in this program, I'm talking monthly. There's guys like Brian Dubs who, $25,000 a month recurring income from the practices that he learned in Funnel Closer. And this guy was down on his luck. He had to borrow money from his sister to get the money to invest in the program. Now he's making $25,000 a month. It's a $997 investment, and he's making $25,000 a month from doing the work behind it. Now, do you think that's a fucking good deal? We got Sierra Morris. She is another person that was trying to figure out fucking life and everything else. And then she bought the Funnel Closer program, put it to work. They're doing $30,000. Just yesterday, they posted that they made $30,000 in one day. That's more than I made yesterday. There is guys like Michael Hamburger who figured out a way to scale this thing. He said he sold 100 funnels, made $100,000 because it was $1,000 commission per funnel, made $100,000 commission. You think that was worth the $997 it takes to invest in the program? Never mind the fact that I'm making, $50,000 a month selling them on the side. But of course I can do it. That's what people tell themselves, excuses, right? Well, of course Stewman can do it. He's a hardcore closer. He has a following. But what about these other people that essentially nobody knows they exist? Nobody knows who the fuck they were. You don't know them. They're not celebrities or movie stars or major gurus. They're just people, dudes and chicks, doing work, man, fucking making shit happen. Fucking excuses, you know what I'm saying? Fucking excuses like it's an orgy in the Czechoslovakia and the Czech Republic in the fucking 80s, right? We all seen those porns that our parents used to have, right? That's how they fuck excuses. Wildly, rapidly, and in positions that you didn't know about as a young man. So get over to funnelcloser.com and sign up for the program to learn, right? I don't want you to just give me your money. Okay, it's $997. You know that there's going to be a sales pitch for $997. I'm being transparent with you. For $997 at the end of the training, but I want you to go through and watch the training first so you understand what the fuck you're getting into. Because the last thing I want from anybody is $1,000 in exchange for nothing. In other words, I don't want you to pay me $1,000 and I have $1,000 and then you have a fucking content library. I want you to pay me $1,000 and then you go fucking make $25, $50, $100,000, $1 million, however many fucking dollars you count. That's what I want. That's my goal. And the best way that I know is to educate you first, so you don't just buy something and then have buyer's remorse, or be spontaneous and buy something and then not use it or forget about it. I want you to go through the training so that you see the opportunity, because this could be the opportunity for you to take care of your kids, for you to provide for your spouse, for you to start your own business, for you to drive a McLaren, for you to have a Lamborghini, for you to have that boat you've always wanted, to live in that neighborhood you've been dreaming about. All those things are fucking possible, and they're happening for people right now, and I want it to happen for you too. It all starts by going over to funnelcloser.com and signing up and watching the free training and getting yourself educated. And that free training alone will make you money if you just implement the stuff that you learn in it. But in order to take it to the next level, invest in yourself. It's just going to be tax deductible. It's a business expense. And, my goal is for you to hurry up and make $5,000 from selling funnels so that you can come join me at Break Free Academy so I can show you how to turn that 5 into 50. So go to funnelcloser.com. All right, let's get into the episode here. Episode, you know what I'm saying? The episode, that's what we're going to call it. We're going to talk about getting into the sales state of mind. Life, not just sales, but life in general is all about mindset. As a man thinketh, so he becomes. And a lot of people, they're not thinking clearly. And a lot of people in sales aren't in the sales state of mind. I got a friend named Haas, the listing boss. Crap. He was over at my house having a couple of drinks with me the other day. And he comes over pretty often. We're neighbors. And some of you in the real estate game might know him. Haas is a badass salesperson as well. He spoke at several of my events. And he tells a story one time at our event in Plano that we did, I think it was last year. He tells a story about when he was making cold calls to people in real estate. This is a long time ago. He would put on this glove, this batting glove or golfing glove, whatever the fuck it was. And when he put this glove on, it was anchored in his mind that this glove, the glove that he picked up the phone with and dialed with, was the glove that transformed him from Haas Pratt, guy from fucking Middletown, Missouri, to Haas, the fucking listing boss. And when he put that glove on, that was an anchor that changed his state of mind to where he was fucking relentless on the call. He wasn't himself. He wasn't emotionally attached to anything. He just did the fucking work. And it's like when you're going to go get your hands dirty, sometimes you need some gloves. You know what I mean? And so sales is about that. If you walk into sales in a bad mood in the morning, you're going to bring a bad mood to your sales calls. People don't buy from fucking Eeyore. You know what I mean? People buy from Piglet, not Eeyore. Piglet's excited. He's happy. He's jumping around. He's annoying as shit. They buy from him. Shut the fuck up. If you take money, will you shut the fuck up? Nobody buys from Eeyore. So you got to get into that sales state of mind. And I'm going to give you 4 things today to help you lock in deeper into that sales state of mind. So we're talking about first thing in the morning. When you come in and you've taken your morning shit, you've made your coffee, you've said hello to Dale over at the water cooler, you told them about the fucking prostitutes you banged last night, how good the Columbia marching powder you have is, and you sit down in your cube and you're ready to fucking hit the phones or hit the internet or email your leads or whatever the case, that's when you step in to what I'm about to share with you. First thing is you got to hone in your focus. Simply put, that means that you have to tone and tune everything else out but what you're doing. You see, because if you're on your phone scrolling Facebook and you're making calls and you're sending emails, you're not focused. You're distracted. Matter of fact, that's a subliminal signal. Now, hear me out, salespeople. If you are making cold calls or if you're making warm calls and you find yourself scrolling on your mobile phone while you're smiling and dialing, that's because you're not in the sales state of mind. You're fucking trying to, that's secretly your subconscious saying that you don't like making these sales calls, so you're distracting yourself by scrolling on your mobile phone. That's not focus. That's not focus. Focus is when you are 100% aware in the present and you're committed to reaching your goal, doing one thing, and that's making the calls, sending the emails, whatever that thing is for you. When I sit down in the morning, my focus is on answering all of my emails and all of my inbound messages. And then my next focus. So I've got things that I focus on. I keep a really tight schedule so that it keeps me focused. Because if I'm going to be in the sales state of mind, I've got to be focused on sales. I can't be focused on what happened between me and Amy. I can't be focused on whether my kids are getting good grades in school or not. I can't be focused on whether I got money or I don't got money, or my investments are good or my investments are bad. I can't be focused on any of that stuff. I've got to be focused on reaching my goal, on making sales. Anything else is a distraction. And a distraction is a trick of the force of average to throw you off your game so that you don't become above average. So when you sit down, the first thing that you need to think in your mind, when you sit down fixing to put your glove on to be Hoss the listing boss, making your calls, is focus. Number one. When my kids, they're brown and blue belts in karate. I believe that's what belts they are. By the time you're listening to this, they could be fucking double degree black belts. Who am I to judge? But they got belts in karate, right? And when they go in there, the first thing they do is they bow, they step on the mat, they bow to the teacher, the sensei, and they say, total focus, sir. The first thing he wants from them is focus. Because guess what? In karate, as Asher and Jax have learned several times, if you are not focused, you get the shit kicked out of you. If you're not focused and you're distracted and your sparring partner hits you in the fucking nose, it might fall off, right? So focus. Number two is you got to have goals. There's three types of goals that you need to have. Write this down. You need to have a daily goal. It needs to be monetary. I'm not here on this show to talk to you about how to live a better life. I'm on this show to talk to you about sales, so that goal needs to be monetary. There's no other form of compensation or trophy or championship or belt or whatever the fuck you want to call it other than money. That's our fucking trophy in sales, is money. People that say they're a good salesperson but don't make $100,000 a year are not good fucking salespeople, or they would be making over $100,000 a year. People that say they're the best salesperson that make $250,000 a year are full of shit, because the best salesperson is Jeff Bezos. He's already made $7 billion in the month of January alone. But you have to have monetary goals every day, because listen, you think you're a good salesperson, but if you don't see the money coming in, you're going to have to fucking realize that maybe you belong with Harold down there in HR. Maybe you need to get your shit together and get focused. But it all starts with having a goal. So that's the first goal. It's a daily goal, a daily monetary goal. If you're in fitness, you might have a daily fitness goal, work out every day and whatever, right? If you are in relationship goals, you might want to, fuck your old lady every day, or make sure you eat that pussy, whatever, right? Set your daily goals. Eat the pussy daily. Number two, you need monthly goals. So if you've got this daily goal, you do some math, that should lead you to your monthly goal. And as a matter of fact, you can pick the monthly goal first and then break it down into a daily goal if you like. And then third is you need a goal for 6 months from now, which means every month those three goals change, because 6 months is further out. And for the next month, and then the month that you've set your goals in is over with, and you should always be trying to grow at least by $1 more every month. So there's three types of goals that you have to have: daily, monthly, and 6 monthly, biannually. And if you're focused on hitting those goals, that's how you step into the sales state of mind. Because here's the third part: you're going to need relentlessness if you're going to hit those goals. Like my goal for 2015 was $2,800 a day, which is $1 million a year. My focus was at 28. You seen that movie 23 with Jim Carrey? I think it's 23. And where he writes 23 everywhere. I was 28. I'm fucking writing on my face. I'm panicking. I'm like, I can't get out of it. Like fucking Jim Carrey shit, right? Like I was all over 2,800. That was my focus. That was my goal. And I was relentless. If we were getting on the phone and I wasn't close to the $2,700, guess who's going to fucking pay me today? You. That's who. I was relentlessness. I exhibited relentlessness. I was relentless towards my goal, because guess what? First of all, you shouldn't set some lazy boy comfort chair bullshit goal that you know you can accomplish. That's what fucking pussies do. A real man, or like, it would just, ladies, don't get all fucking, I only have balls, so I can only, and I am very sure that I am a man. I am not going through any gender identity issues. So as a man, I'm telling you, a man has to be fucking relentless towards his goals. I don't know that much changes if you have a vagina, but who am I to assume, right? But that's what it takes. It takes relentlessness. Because listen, when you're trying to hit goals and you make these big ass, as a man, you have to put these big ass fucking goals out there. You set these big ass goals, not some little boy goals, some fucking man-sized goals, right? When you go over here to Twin Peaks, little titty fucking place, and chicks like mush the boobs together and serve you beer and stuff. We go over there to the Twin Peaks place. They ask you, say, hey, I'd like a beer. I want a Bud Light. They go, do you want a regular one or a man size? Well, fuck, you got this hot chick with the boobs all smushed together in your face. You're not going to go, oh, I'll take a little boy beer. Well, life's smushing its boobs in your face, man. And it's asking you if you want a man-sized goal or a little bitch-made boy goal. And the problem is most average motherfuckers choose this little bitch-made boy goal, and they fucking drinking their little girly beer, and they wonder why the chick with the big boobs smushed together won't give him a blowjob in the back of his fucking McLaren. First of all, you can never get a blowjob in the back of a McLaren because there's no fucking back seat. But you got to set man-sized goals and be relentless towards the motherfuckers. Like nothing comes between you and the goal. I hear people all the time, and you can shout me down for this shit, but I hear people all the time say, family first. You know what? My family can't even pay the fucking rent if I'm not relentless towards my goals. If I'm not relentless and focused on my goals, I don't give a fuck how much love Amy and the kids have for me. Love won't buy me a ticket on the fucking dart bus. When I step in every day, I'm stepping in to fucking hit my goals, and I'm relentlessly, I'm not leaving until I get them done. When I stepped into the mortgage world, I set a goal for myself, 10 loans a month. I did not leave this is the craziest thing. I would be fucked up on drugs trying to stay awake so I could keep up with the hours to make sure that I was prospecting. And our office was right next to the police station. So I would be high as a motherfucker, high as giraffe pussy on methamphetamines, working all night, sending emails and doing shit that fucking just to try to get ahead, and fucking cops were next door. Now, if you've ever done any kind of stimulant drug that makes you paranoid, you know that I really wanted to fucking hit that goal in order to fucking be next to the police station. It's relentlessness. And number 4, get into that sales state of mind, is you got to objectionize. You got to understand that you're going to get objections. And you have to have thought out the objections. Like if you don't know every objection that your prospect can give to you, you're missing out on the best part of sales. If you don't know every single objection and the answer for it. We got these closer cards that we give out from time to time. But if you don't know every single objection and the rebuttal to it, you're fucking up in sales. You should know that like flashcards. Like I know 2 + 2 is 4, 5 + 5 is 10, 10 + 10 is 20. I know that without even having to think about it. You should be the same with the common objections you get. You probably only get 10 to 15 objections, the same ones. I don't have money. It's too expensive. My wife says no. Need to talk to my partner. My penis isn't large enough. I need an XYZ life event to take place. My kids won't let me. My diabetes is acting up. All these fucking things that we get from people. You should have all those written down and know exactly what to say. As soon as a motherfucker goes, I need to go talk. Listen, sir, what instead you could do instead of talking to your wife, what you need to fucking have. You need to have you need to already have this plan to fuck out. You need to go in there knowing objections are coming your way, and you need to go in there knowing that you'll beat them motherfuckers down with the Louisville Slugger bat like my boy Sid Clevenger brought me here to the office. Beat it. Beat it like Rodney King, damn it. You know what I'm saying? You gotta fucking beat it. It's an old joke. It's probably tasteless. Shit's still funny to me. If you're offended by that, I do not give a fuck. I grew up in the 90s. That's some shit that we fucking laughed at. And not the fact the man was getting beat, it's just fucking saying, right? And anyway, so the thing is, you got to be ready for these objections so that you fucking beat them. You can't let the objections beat you. You got to fucking be able to beat the objections. Now, here's the thing. There's 4 things you step into every day to get into this sales state of mind. Let me give you this recap real quick. Number 1 is focus. You don't need distractions after, like, all the distractive shit that you need to do. Take a shit, drink coffee, smoke a cigarette, smoke a joint, sniff a fucking line, talk to Brad and fucking HR, hang out with fucking, Brady over at the fucking water cooler. Get all that shit out of the way, because when you step into fucking sales, you need to have all that out of your system so that your focus is on one thing and one thing only, making that motherfucking money. Number 2, you got to have a goal. You need a goal set daily, weekly, or daily, monthly, and every 6 months. if you go a day where you say your goal is $2,000 a day, if you go a day where you make $1,500, you know your goal the next day is 25, and so on and so forth. You got to be relentless towards those goals. You can't let nothing come in between you and those goals. Nothing. Not family, not religion, not fucking leisure, not nothing. If you're not hitting your goals, you don't deserve the fucking fruits of that shit. I said it. If you're not hitting your goals, you don't deserve the fucking fruits of fucking you don't deserve the benefits of the family and the love of the family and the fucking relax and vacation. You haven't earned that shit. You might say, well, I'm a great parent. or I'm a great husband or wife or whatever. I'm saying that if you were a great husband or wife, you'd be fucking smashing goals for your family first. You earn that shit. You earn that shit. Number 4, be ready for them objections. Stone cold. There's a book called Pimp by Iceberg Slim. The reason why he got the name Iceberg Slim is he was in a bar. This book's written in the 30s. He was in a bar. There was a shootout. Motherfucker come in with a Tommy gun. Fuck, shoot shit everywhere. Iceberg bullet flew through his pimp hat. You know what I'm talking about? Like a white pimp hat with a feather in it, Yankee Doodle shit. This was up back in the day, you know. He never moved. He sat there and he finished his whiskey and he walked out of the shooting unscathed except for a hole in his pimp hat. They call him Ice Cold after that. Iceberg Slim. You got to be the same way towards objections. You can't get hyped up. You can't get all fucking bothered and jazzed up and everything else. You just got to go in there, know they're going to exist, be ready for them, take the emotion out of it, and be cold as Iceberg Slim. Listen, if you haven't got my app yet, make sure you text CLOSER to 44222. Download the Hardcore Closer app right now. Text the word CLOSER, CLOSER, CLOSER to 44222. Again, that's text CLOSER to 44222. Download my app for free. It's tons and tons of fucking content on there. You can also catch the recap of this show on YouTube, hardcorecloser.com, iTunes, fucking SoundCloud, any fucking wherever they host audio and video, fucking shit like that. We all up in that motherfucker. So with that being said, this has been the rowdiest episode that I've done in a long time, but I was feeling it today. You know, I was really fucking feeling it, and I really feel strongly about getting into that sales state of mind. I had to get my team into the sales state of mind this morning, and since we've been on this hangout, we have made $1,300, $3,500. So we're sitting right at about $3,500 in the 30 minutes it took me to get this because I got them in the sales state of mind this morning. Hopefully, this got you in the same state of mind so you can go out there and crush your shit too. Later, closers. Catch you next week.